Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Tim from timsenesiyoga.com, and I'm here today with Johanna Maggy. How can they find you? At Johanna Maggy on Instagram?
Yeah.
And what's your website?
Motherspell.com.
Motherspell.com.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm stoked today to have Johanna on the channel. She's going to be demonstrating while I teach the poses. So let's begin in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is a lying down position. So lie down onto your back with the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. So this is a great way to start to open up and to relax and to let go of some of the tension that we habitually hold that we might not always be conscious of in our posture. So if we spend most of the day with the shoulders hunched over, seated, tucked under, then all that weight on your spine makes your neck tight, makes your shoulders tight, and affects how you can work your core. So this opportunity to open up at the beginning is important because we're gonna let go of some of that chronically held tension. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, fill your lungs from the bottom all the way up to the top, and then let it all out. And then just watch your breath. You don't have to try to take deep breaths or anything, but just conscious breathing. And practice drawing your awareness inward, into the body, and feeling the body with your eyes closed as you're breathing. Just notice the sensation of the in-breath and the out-breath. Then stretch your arms straight up to the ceiling. Hook your thumbs, and as you inhale, slowly let the arms start to fall back. Now, when your arms go back, your waist will want to tip up to the ceiling. So instead, keep all four sides of your waist long. Press your feet together and stretch your inner legs, like you could reach your knees away from each other. Keep your elbows straight, energize your arms. Reach through your fingers and reach through your hips out of your low back. Then bring your arms back up. Take the other thumb on top. And again, inhale, slowly let your arms fall back. So in each pose, we want to have this balance between effort and ease in the pose. So effort to reach yourself longer, to stretch, to open up the shoulders, but not so much effort to where you're creating more strain. Then bring your arms up to the ceiling. Good, bring the knees in towards each other. Hug your right knee into your chest and stretch your left leg out along the floor. Change legs, hug your left knee in and stretch your right leg out. Then release that leg, roll over to your side, and come up onto your hands into your knees for a little bit of cat-cow. Yeah. So place your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. As you exhale, round your back and look back at your navel. Start to warm up your spine. Inhale, wheel your chest forward, tip your sit bones up to the ceiling, and let the upper spine drop in. Exhale, round through your back, especially open up through the sacrum and the lower back. And inhale. Do it one more time and see if you can slow down and lengthen your breath to increase the range of motion. Feel how they're connected. Slow, steady breath helps you to open up. Nice. Then come into neutral with your spine. And keep your hips level, draw in and up from your lower belly as you stretch your right leg back behind you. Try not to let the hips twist, so wake up the core muscles. As that leg goes back, the low back wants to sink. Don't let it, keep it long, and then stretch your left arm forward. Elongate through your spine, reach past your heel, past your fingers. Lower your hand and your knee. Change sides, reach just the left leg back at first. Try to keep the hips even. Then keep your belly lifted as you stretch your right arm forward. Lower your hand and your knee. One more time. Inhale, change sides. Reach the leg and the arm. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, change sides. And exhale, lower back down. Then stretch back into child's pose. Let your hips sit back onto your heels. And as the hips release heavy onto the heels, keep lengthening through your side ribs, side chest. Open up the hands even into the mat and press down through the hands. Then come up onto your hands and your knees. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees and stretch back into your first down dog. So in down dog, you're trying to make like this inverted V shape. For some, the hamstrings are tight. You can work with the knees bent a little bit to help to get the spine to lengthen, but work on reaching your hips up and away from your wrists. At the same time, turn your triceps down towards the floor and feel space come across the back of your neck. And keep reaching into the hands, those middle three knuckles especially. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Put just a little bend in your knees so that it feels like the whole spine can release out over your legs. Then slowly roll yourself up to stand, head and neck last thing to come up. Good, now stand tall and balance yourself right over your ankles. So let the hips come over the ankles, the shoulders stack over the hips, and the ears right over the shoulders. This is your mountain pose line. Open up through your feet, press down through your feet, grow tall through your spine. Sun salute A. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, make a flat back. Come up onto your fingertips or hands onto your shins and reach your heart forward. Keep your heart reaching forward as you step back into plank pose. Hold in your plank. Spread across the collarbones, legs firm, belly up. Then for this first chaturanga, set your knees down. Shift forward and lower slowly to elbow height. Pause there. Then lift back up. Lower down onto your belly. Inhale into low cobra. Point the toes back. Now, important about low cobra, as you press the tops of the feet, spin the inner thighs towards the ceiling and the outer thighs down. Lengthen through your tailbone past your heels and draw from your lower belly up towards your heart. Then take your hands back underneath your elbows. Keep the front of the shoulders open as you roll up into upward facing dog, or just hold in that low cobra. Up dog might be too much backbend on your lower back, so you can always just do the low cobra instead. Stretch back to down dog. Good. Then before we step forward for the next flow, let's try the chaturanga with the legs straight. So shift forward, plank, shoulders right over your wrists. Now keep the spine long like a plank. Shift forward and lower slowly to elbow height. Pause there, legs strong still. Lift back up. Downward facing dog. So if that's too challenging, you can just keep practicing it with your knees down until your upper body gets stronger. But important, you want to keep your chest open while you're doing it. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine out. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Raise your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, get length. Step back, plank pose, one leg at a time. Now knees down or not, your call. Shift forward and lower slowly. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. So Johanna's pretty badass. She can do that chaturanga really well. Normally when I have guests, it's very rare that someone can do chaturanga well. So I encourage you at home, just until you build it, develop the strength, knees down is a great way to do it. How'd you get so good at doing that chaturanga? That was amazing. Okay, look forward. Step or hop your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees and sit your hips back. Exhale, fold forward. Sun salutation B. Inhale, make a flat back. Lengthen your spine. Step back into plank, one leg at a time. Open your chest and stay long as you shift forward, knees down or not, lower to elbow height. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. Roll your chest open. Exhale, down dog. Then step your right foot all the way up by your right thumb. Track your right hip with your right ankle. Then step your back foot an inch closer and turn the heel down. When the heel goes down, hug the right hip in again and get long, straight out through the midline like I drew a line down the middle of your mat. Reach your chest out. Then lift from your lower belly, come on up into warrior one. Ground your back outer heel. Feel a lift on the inseam of your back leg as you reach the outer heel. And then, just like we practiced on the back at the beginning, grow the sides of the waist as the arms stretch. The more you stretch your arms, the more your body will want to give up in the waist because it's more flexible there, not as flexible in the upper back. So take the upper back in and up as you stretch the arms. Wake up and break up the stiffness there in your upper back, shoulders, and neck. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Optional chaturanga, hold in plank or shift forward and lower slowly and lift straight back up. Gotcha. Okay, good. Glide back to down dog. Then step your left foot all the way up by your left thumb. Step your back foot a little bit closer and turn the heel down. And then hug the left hip back into the midline. Ground your back heel and reach your chest forward. Lift from your lower belly and inhale, come up. Again, ground your back heel and lift the inseam of your back leg. Turn your right ribs forward towards the front and lift through all four sides of your waist. Then see if you could bend your left knee a little deeper without sinking into your lower back. Keep going up. Good, bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Hold in your plank. Now let's try plank stability. Draw your belly up as you lift your right leg up an inch. Don't let your hips twist. Change legs. Left leg up an inch. Good, stretch back to downward facing dog, both feet down. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees and sit back. Press up to stand, Samastiti, hands to your heart. Let's put it into a flow now. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower slow chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your down dog. Nice. Now bring your feet together as you hold in down dog and roll onto the outside edge of your left foot. Take your right arm up. Vashisthasana, side plank. If it's too much on your wrist or your shoulder, just set your left knee down and work on opening up your chest. Otherwise, stack your hips, stack your shoulders. And as you press through your heels, draw up from the pelvic floor, low belly, and open up across your chest from the lift of your belly. Downward facing dog, slowly stretch back with control. Change sides, roll to the outside edge of your right foot and take your left arm up. Stack your hips and shoulders. Press to your heels like they're up against the wall. And as you draw your inner thighs back, lift up from your lower belly, roll and spread the chest open. Good, slowly stretch back to downward dog with control. Nice. Then step your right foot, warrior two. Turn your back heel down and inhale, come up. So just make sure in warrior two that your back foot's angled in just a little bit, and then allow for your hips to turn just slightly towards your right knee so that the right thigh can turn all the way out. So it looks like your center ankle, center knee, and center hip are on a track. Like at the beginning, grow the sides of the waist tall as the arms stretch. Then without your right knee twisting in at all, keep it pressed open as you bring your right elbow onto your right thigh. Stretch your left arm all the way over your ear. Side angle pose. So in this pose, you're making a long line from your back ankle to your fingertips. Feel the length, ground your back heel. And as you keep reaching through the back heel, see if you can let the right thigh drop a little bit deeper. Keep the length of your spine by lifting up and rolling your chest open. Good, come back up to warrior two. Pause there for a moment. Then bring your hands back down to the mat and step back into plank pose. Hold in plank there with your chest open. Now round two of the plank challenge. Lift your left leg up an inch without twisting or sinking. Change legs, raise your right leg up an inch. Change legs and bring your left knee to your chest without rounding your back though. Change legs, right knee up to the chest. Good, stretch back to downward dog. Step your left foot up in between your hands, warrior two. Turn your back heel down. Inhale, come up. So make sure the back foot's turned in just a little bit. Let the hips turn slightly towards your left knee and grow tall through all four sides of your waist. As you hold in the pose, feel your breath again. Just like at the beginning of class, there's effort to open up and to stretch, but not so much effort to where you're creating more strain for yourself. Expand into your body. Then bring your left forearm onto your thigh, reconnect into your back heel, and reach your arm all the way over. Keep feeling the length from your back heel to your right fingertips. Then inhale, come back up, warrior two. Nice. Now this time, straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes in so your feet are parallel. Hold here for a moment. Then turn the legs to the right. The left foot turns in a little, right leg turns all the way out, and come into triangle pose. Reach out over your straight right leg. Now you can put your hand, if possible, if you're very flexible, you can put your hand down on the floor. Otherwise, you could put your hand on your shin, or you can use one of these blocks and put your hand on the outside of your leg on the block. Good, then bend your right knee, lift your belly, come back up into warrior two. Then take reverse warrior, flip your right palm and inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Nice, back to warrior two. Straighten your right leg and turn your feet to the other side. We'll take triangle over the left leg now. So reach out and work on lengthening your left side as you reach out over your leg. Place your hand down. Firm your left outer hip in to help to find the length through your lower back. So a long spine is a strong core. Notice the places the spine just wants to hang on itself. See if you can breathe more space through there. Ground that back outer heel. Now bend your left knee, lift from your belly and come up. Reverse warrior, flip your palm. Good, then come back to warrior two. Bring your hands back to the mat and step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. So take a vinyasa means do the chaturanga, up dog, and then down dog. Good, now walk your feet forward to the front of your mat and let's practice crow pose. So take your feet outer hips distance apart and then slowly lower your buttocks towards your heels. You could turn your toes out a little bit, elbows come onto the insides of the knees, hands to prayer position. So pause here in this position for a moment. The more hip mobility you get, the easier the crow will be. Then put your hands down and hook the knees way up high into your triceps. See if you can lean into your chaturanga arms. And then maybe you could lift your feet up off the ground. Take flight for a moment. Good, then lower your feet back down and fold forward, Uttanasana. Put a little bend in your knees and slowly roll yourself up to stand. Good. Then step your left foot back about 3.5 feet. Bring your hands behind your back and grab your elbows. Roll your shoulder heads back so that it feels like the blades come onto the back and the chest is open. Start to lean from your chest out over your knee without the blades leaving the back. Then lengthen all the way out over your leg. Hold there, 5 breaths. Good, now press into your feet. Inhale, come back up. Arms down at your side, arms straight. Lean the chest halfway out over your knee again. Pause there, keep the blades on the back. And step up into warrior three, step up to balance on your right leg. Keep the hips as level as you can. Lengthen through your tailbone past your back heel. And reach through the crown of the head, straight out through the midline. Then without your left foot touching the floor, come up to stand. Bring your knee up and raise your arms up. Nice. Then bend your right knee and wrap your left leg up and over your right. Cross your left elbow under. Working on balance now. Good. Stay as even as you can on your right foot. Squeeze in with your legs and feel the lift that comes from your low abs as you squeeze in the legs. Then uncross your arms and your legs and stand tall in mountain pose. Back to how we started. All right. Step your right foot back about 3.5 feet and grab a hold of your elbows behind your back. This time, other hand on top. Set the blades on the back with the chest open and then start to lean from your chest forward halfway out over your leg. Pause there, reconnect into your feet, and then lengthen all the way out over your leg. So just notice the tendency for the feet to kind of twist. Just keep reaching down as even as you can into your feet. Press down through your feet. Inhale, come back up. Release your arms down at your side. Then lean halfway out over your leg again. And step up into warrior three. As you're lifting your back leg, keep your hips level. Hold there, strong back leg. reach to that heel straight back. Then without your foot touching the floor, come up to stand. Bring the knee up, arms up. Bend your left knee and wrap your right leg up and over. Cross your right elbow under. So just remember, if you're doing a balance pose and it's not perfect, that's fine. Yoga is a practice. So just allow yourself to twist, to fall, whatever, and just come right back into it without any mental judgment. Good job. Uncross your arms and your legs. Stand tall in mountain. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Do chaturanga, up dog, and then down dog. Step your right foot for crescent. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and lean your chest out over your knee. Then twist, take your left elbow to your knee. Good, as you hold here, press the index finger knuckles into each other and spread your collarbones. Lift up on your back inner leg and get long through the line of your back ankle, just like you did in side angle pose. Let even the head lean back a bit into alignment with your back ankle. Nice. Then bring your hands down to the mat. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot, crescent. Inhale, reach up. Bring your hands to prayer position and lean your chest out over your knee. Then twist, take your elbow to your knee. Good, so once you get the elbow there, press the index finger knuckles and spread from the center of your chest towards the tips of your shoulders. Spread your collarbones. Lift the back inner thigh and get as long as you can from your back ankle out through your crown. Bring your hands back down to the mat, step back to down dog, or take a vinyasa, your call. So as you start to build upper body strength, you can add more of the vinyasas. If you're feeling too fatigued in your upper body though, you can just take them out and go right back to down dog. Then look in between your hands, jump through to seated. Nice. Then we're gonna come into boat pose. So bring the knees up and take the arms out at your side. Good. Let's try this one with the knees bent at first. And with the knees bent, really connect into your middle. So feel your roots. Feel your tailbone, your sit bones grow down. And then lift up from the pelvic floor and the lower belly. Feel energy come up the spine. Then slowly, with control, round your lower back down onto the floor and bring your legs into tabletop position. Nice. Feel your low abs draw in and stretch your right leg forward without your lower belly falling on that side. Slowly change legs. Notice if the lower belly is trying to follow the leg. Keep it drawing in. Slowly change legs. Slowly change legs. Good, then hug your knees into your chest. Roll yourself back up to seated. Put your hands a foot behind you. Spin your shoulder heads back. Hold here, opening your chest, or with your feet hip socket distance apart, lift your hips up. Roll the shoulder heads back, lift the chest, And then start to lift the tailbone up. Breathe. Reach into your feet. And slowly lower your hips back down. Let's do that one more round. Bring your knees up, arms forward. Boat pose. The whole thing, from the beginning. Okay. So knees up, arms forward. Okay, now if you have the flexibility in your hamstrings and you want to try to straighten your legs, go ahead, but you shouldn't feel any sinking in your spine. More important that you're connected from your root energy drawing up. Good, now slowly lower onto your lower back, Ardha Navasana. This time, bring the right leg into tabletop position and bring your hands up and over to the outside of the knee. Twist. Hold your belly in. Change sides. Change sides. Change sides. Good, then come back to center and hug your knees into your chest. Roll back up to seated. Put your hands back behind you. Spin the shoulders back and then lift your hips up. Roll the shoulders, roll the chest open and lift the tailbone as you press down even into your feet. Try to keep your knees pointing straight ahead. Good job. Lower your buns back down. Good. Then cross your legs in front of you, put your hands down and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Come into plank on your elbows, set one down and then the other. Hold here. Press down the forearms, pull the belly up. But as you're pressing down with your arms, try not to hunch your back. Still keep the length through your thoracic spine. Then roll onto the outside edge of your left foot and take your right arm up. Stack your hips and your shoulders. Change sides. Right elbow down, left arm up. You can always do this with your knee down if it's too much on your shoulder. Good, then bring that elbow back down. Interlock your hands and we'll practice dolphin pose, the preparation for headstand. Walk into down dog on your forearms. Now as you're walking in, turn your inner armpits forward, like someone stuck their thumbs in there and twisted them for you. And then lift your hips up as high as you can. Imagine that there was a knee in your upper back. Take the upper spine up. Then see if you can walk in a little closer, but keep turning those inner armpits forward. Nice. Hold for 3 more breaths. And now, if possible, raise the right leg up, but stay even on your elbows. Change legs. Great job. Set that leg back down, set your knees down, and then sit back into child's pose. Just like at the beginning, give yourself time now to reconnect to your breath, to be in your body, and just feel all the good energy that you cultivated through your practice. You could feel now all that heat, all the energy moving through you. Nice, then stretch back into down dog. Shift into plank pose and lie down on your belly. Clasp your hands behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back like you're squeezing a pencil in between your blades. And then lift your body up. Press the hips down, lift the legs, head, chest up. And like at the beginning, keep rolling the inner thighs up to the ceiling faster. And then reach your chest forward like someone hooked it and started to pull it forward to the front wall. Lower yourself down and rest one cheek on the mat. Just relax. Interlock your hands again behind your back, this time other index finger on top, and come back up. Good, now you can hold in this position, or if you have the mobility to, bend your knees, bring your heels close to your hands. If you can reach back and grab your feet, go ahead. If it's a big struggle though, just keep the hands interlocked with the knees bent. If you're holding your feet, maybe you can start to stretch your legs up and back. Let your breath be your guide. If it's too much, the breath won't come. So be at the place where you're opening up and creating more space. Good, then lower yourself back down and rest the other cheek. Upward dog, plant your hands by your waist, roll your chest through, inhale, and stretch back to down dog. All right, now make your way back to a seated position and stretch your legs out in front of you. Then bend your right knee and cross your right ankle onto the outside of your left knee. Wrap your left arm around and twist. Twist up like a bottle cap unscrewing. Feel your sit bones release down. Visualize buoyancy through the lower back. Come back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Good, then come back to center. And cross your legs in front of you right at the shins. If you're very flexible, you could try stacking your shins with the ankle on the outside of the knee. But otherwise, if the hips aren't so open, just with your legs crossed like I'm doing, you can fold forward. If you have something to rest your head on, like a block or a book or something, it's a really nice release once the forehead touches something. You'll feel that the muscles in the back of the neck can release better, which relates to the whole spine, sends the signal that you can start to ease into it better. Breathe right into the hips where you're feeling the stretch. Inhale, come back up. Change the cross of your legs. And again, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Raise your arms up and inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach past your feet. Grab a hold of what you can. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper. Let your lower belly release back into your spine and reach down through the front of your sit bones as you're folding. Then lie down onto your back for Savasana, final relaxation. Turn your palms up at your side, let your feet fall open. Then we'll go through the body and consciously relax. Relax the hands and the feet. Let go of the tension in your arms and your legs. Soften your abdomen, your jaw, your tongue. Let the temples soften, the eyes soften. Let all the muscles in your face relax. And from this space of calm relaxation, as you watch your breath, just notice how much inner space there is. When we get all stressed out, we're disconnected from this inner space, but at the end of your practice, feel how vast and infinite you feel on the inside. Then gently bend your knees. Roll over to your right side. And press up to seated. Okay. Sit up tall and bring your palms together. And with your eyes closed, just take a moment to notice the shift. Notice how the body feels now. Notice the quality of the breath and your current mental state. And just be grateful for this time that you got to practice today and all the benefits that it brings. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, so thank you so much for watching today, and thanks to Johanna for coming out and doing such a beautiful job demonstrating. Make sure to follow Johanna on Instagram at Johanna Maggy. And also, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment below, and also subscribe to the channel. All right, I'll see you next time.